Good evening, everybody. I want to talk to you about something that everybody in this room has experienced at some point in their life. Failure. But let me tell you something. Failure ain't the end. Failure is the beginning. Failure is proof that you tried. See, the problem ain't failure. The problem is how you look at it. Some of y'all are so scared to fail that you won't even try. You got dreams, you got ideas, but you won't step out because you're afraid of what might go wrong. Let me tell you something right now. If you don't fail, you don't grow. Think about every successful person you admire. Every single one of them has failed over and over again. They've been told no. They've been rejected. They've lost money. They've embarrassed themselves. But the difference between them and the people who stay stuck, they kept going. See, failure is like a GPS rerouting you. You take a wrong turn, it don't say, well, that's it, you're done. No, it says recalculating. Failure is just God's way of saying, I got something better for you, but you ain't ready yet. Let me tell you something. Everybody wants success, but they don't want to go through the process. You want the trophy, but you don't want to train. You want the paycheck, but you don't want to put in the work. But let me tell you something. You don't get the reward without the struggle. So I'm here to tell you, fail forward. Every time you fall, get back up, learn from it, adjust, keep going. Because one day, that failure that had you crying in your car, that failure that made you want to quit, there's going to be the same failure you look back on and say, that's the moment that changed everything. You're not failing, you're learning, you're growing, you're becoming who you were meant to be. So go out there, take the risk, stop being scared of failure, start embracing it, because on the other side of failure is everything you've ever wanted. Thank you. Failure is something that every person will encounter at some point in their life. It is an unavoidable part of the journey towards success, yet so many people view it as a dead end rather than a stepping stone. The way we perceive failure determines whether we grow from it or allow it to hold us back. Some people see failure as a sign that they are not good enough, that they are incapable, or that they should give up. Others understand that failure is an essential part of learning and progress. The truth is, failure is never the final destination. It is merely a checkpoint that provides valuable lessons, shaping us into stronger, wiser, and more resilient individuals. Throughout history, some of the most successful people in the world have experienced repeated failures before achieving greatness. Every inventor, entrepreneur, athlete, or artist who has reached the pinnacle of their field has faced setbacks, rejections, and moments of doubt. What sets them apart is their ability to see failure as a necessary component of their journey rather than as an obstacle too big to overcome. The greatest minds and innovators have used their failures as fuel, refining their approach and improving their skills each time they fall short. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, one of the most prolific inventors in history. He conducted thousands of experiments before successfully inventing the light bulb. Many would have given up after a few unsuccessful attempts, but Edison saw every failed experiment as a step closer to success. When asked about his repeated failures, he famously stated that he had not failed, but had simply found thousands of ways that did not work. This mindset is what allowed him to persist until he achieved his goal. His story illustrates that failure is not an indication of incompetence, but rather an essential part of the innovation process. In the world of sports, some of the greatest athletes have experienced significant failures before becoming champions. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. At that moment, he could have accepted defeat and walked away from the sport. Instead, he used that failure as motivation, working harder than ever to improve his game. His relentless dedication and refusal to be defined by failure eventually led him to 6 NBA championships, 5 MVP awards, and a legacy that continues to inspire millions. His journey proves that setbacks are not meant to discourage us, but to push us toward greater achievements. The same principle applies in the world of business. Many of the most successful entrepreneurs have faced financial ruin, rejection, and massive failures before reaching their goals. Walt Disney, the man behind one of the most beloved entertainment companies in the world, was once fired from a newspaper job for lacking creativity. His first business venture went bankrupt. Despite these failures, he continued to pursue his vision, learning from each setback and refining his ideas. Today, Disney's empire is a testament to what is possible when failure is embraced as a learning opportunity rather than a permanent defeat. Failure teaches us lessons that success never could. When everything goes smoothly, we may not feel the need to analyze our actions, improve our strategies, or push ourselves further. However, when we fail, we are forced to reflect on what went wrong. Failure forces us to confront our weaknesses, refine our approach, and develop the resilience necessary to succeed. It reveals what does not work, allowing us to eliminate ineffective methods and focus on better strategies. This process of trial and error is crucial to personal growth and long-term achievement. Resilience is one of the most valuable traits that failure helps to cultivate. People who have never faced failure often struggle when they finally encounter obstacles. However, those who have experienced setbacks and learned to overcome them develop the mental toughness needed to handle challenges in the future. The ability to persevere in the face of failure is what ultimately separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stagnant. Resilient individuals understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a necessary phase in the journey toward success. Failure also teaches humility. When people experience success too easily, they may become overconfident and fail to recognize the importance of continuous improvement. Failure serves as a reminder that no one is immune to setbacks and that there is always room for growth. It keeps us grounded, encouraging us to remain open to learning, seeking advice, and adapting to new challenges. This humility allows us to build stronger relationships, gain valuable insights, and approach future opportunities with a more balanced perspective. Another crucial aspect of failure is its role in fostering creativity and innovation. Many of the world's most groundbreaking discoveries and advancements have come from mistakes. Scientists, engineers, and creators often stumble upon their greatest achievements while trying to solve entirely different problems. The ability to embrace failure allows for experimentation and risk-taking, which are essential for pushing the boundaries of what is possible. When people are afraid to fail, they may hesitate to take risks, limiting their potential for innovation. However, those who see failure as a stepping stone are willing to explore new ideas, challenge conventional thinking, and pursue unconventional paths. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people hold themselves back. Many individuals avoid pursuing their dreams or taking on new challenges because they are afraid of failing. This fear often stems from societal expectations, past experiences, or self-doubt. However, when we reframe our perception of failure and recognize it as a natural part of growth, we remove its power over us. Instead of being something to fear, failure becomes something to embrace, an opportunity to learn, improve, and come back stronger. Personal growth is another significant benefit of experiencing failure. Each failure teaches us something about ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our ability to persevere. It forces us to step outside our comfort zones, challenge our limits, and develop new skills. Many of the qualities that define successful individuals, resilience, adaptability, determination, are developed through failure. Without setbacks, there would be no motivation to improve, no reason to refine our methods, and no opportunity to discover our true potential. Failure also reveals who truly supports us. In times of success, it is easy to be surrounded by people who celebrate our achievements. However, it is during moments of failure that we see who genuinely believes in us and who is willing to stand by us. True friends, mentors, and supporters will encourage us to keep going, offer valuable advice, and remind us of our capabilities when we begin to doubt ourselves. Surrounding ourselves with people who uplift us in times of failure is crucial for maintaining the motivation and confidence needed to keep moving forward. Additionally, failure provides us with a deeper appreciation for success. When achievements come too easily, they may not feel as meaningful. However, when success follows a series of failures, it is all the more rewarding. The struggle, the lessons learned, and the obstacles overcome add value to the accomplishment, making it more fulfilling. This appreciation for success encourages gratitude, allowing us to recognize the importance of hard work, perseverance, and the journey itself rather than just the end result. Another reason failure is essential is that it helps in developing problem-solving skills. When we fail, we are forced to analyze what went wrong and find alternative approaches. This process strengthens our critical thinking abilities, helping us become more resourceful and strategic in our decision-making. Problem-solving is a crucial skill in all areas of life, whether in career, relationships, or personal endeavors. Failure pushes us to think outside the box, experiment with new methods, and develop a mindset that views obstacles as challenges to overcome rather than as roadblocks. Failure also plays a role in building character. The way we handle failure says a lot about who we are. Some people allow failure to break them, while others use it as motivation to improve. Those who rise above their failures develop patience, discipline, and emotional strength. They learn to separate their self-worth from their setbacks and understand that temporary defeats do not define their overall potential. Developing this mindset allows individuals to approach life with confidence, knowing that setbacks are just part of the process. One of the most important aspects of embracing failure is recognizing that it is never truly a failure unless we choose to give up. Every setback carries within it an opportunity for growth, and every disappointment presents a chance to start again with more knowledge and experience. When we shift our mindset and see failure as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point, we open ourselves up to greater possibilities. The key is not to avoid failure, but to use it as a guide, learning from it, adapting to it, and allowing it to shape us into stronger, wiser, and more capable individuals. Fear of failure is one of the biggest obstacles that hold people back from achieving their true potential. It paralyzes ambition, keeps people stuck in their comfort zones, and prevents them from taking the necessary risks that lead to success. Many individuals have dreams, ideas, and goals they would love to pursue, but they hesitate because they are afraid of what might go wrong. This fear creates a mindset of hesitation, self-doubt, and avoidance. Instead of stepping forward, they convince themselves that they are not ready, that the timing isn't right, or that failure would be too devastating to handle. The truth is, failure itself is not the problem. The way people perceive and respond to failure is what makes the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stagnant. People tend to overestimate the negative consequences of failure while underestimating the rewards of trying. They focus on the embarrassment, the criticism, or the short-term setbacks rather than seeing failure as a tool for growth and learning. This fear is often rooted in past experiences, societal expectations, or a deep-seated need for approval. Many individuals grow up being taught that failure is something to be ashamed of, something that reflects personal inadequacy. From a young age, students are conditioned to believe that mistakes equal incompetence, that getting things wrong is a sign of weakness, and that failure should be avoided at all costs. As they grow older, this mindset follows them into adulthood, influencing the way they approach challenges, opportunities, and personal development. The most successful people in history are not those who never failed, but those who failed repeatedly and kept going anyway. What separates them from everyone else is not luck, talent, or intelligence. It is their willingness to embrace failure as part of the journey. They understand that failure is not a verdict on their ability, but rather a stepping stone toward improvement. Every failed attempt provides insight, experience, and a deeper understanding of what works and what doesn't. Those who are willing to take risks, face rejection, and push through setbacks are the ones who eventually break through to success. Fear of failure often leads to inaction. When people hesitate to take risks, they miss out on opportunities that could change their lives. They settle for less than they are capable of because staying in the comfort zone feels safer than venturing into the unknown. But growth never happens in comfort. Every great achievement requires a level of discomfort, uncertainty, and risk. Playing it safe may provide temporary security, but it also guarantees long-term regret. Many people look back on their lives and realize that their biggest regrets are not the things they tried and failed at, but the things they never attempted because they were too afraid. One of the most liberating realizations a person can have is that failure is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. When failure is viewed as a natural and necessary part of progress, it loses its power to intimidate. Instead of being a source of fear, it becomes a source of motivation. Instead of stopping people in their tracks, it pushes them to try again, to adjust their strategies, and to refine their skills. Embracing failure means accepting that setbacks are inevitable, that mistakes are part of the learning process, and that success is built on a foundation of perseverance. Failure builds resilience. Every time a person fails and gets back up, they become stronger. They develop the mental toughness needed to navigate challenges, handle rejection, and persist through difficulties. Resilience is a skill that is developed through experience, and failure provides the training ground for it. Those who avoid failure at all costs miss out on the opportunity to build this crucial trait. They remain fragile, easily discouraged, and unwilling to push beyond their limits. On the other hand, those who embrace failure develop the inner strength needed to face life's inevitable ups and downs with confidence. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds people that they don't have all the answers, that there is always more to learn, and that growth is a continuous process. Many individuals who achieve success too quickly or too easily develop a false sense of superiority. They begin to believe that they are immune to setbacks, that they have mastered their craft, or that they are somehow above the struggle. However, failure serves as a humbling force, bringing people back to reality and reminding them that there is always room for improvement. It keeps them grounded, open to feedback, and willing to keep learning. The lessons that come from failure are often more valuable than the lessons that come from success. When things go well, it is easy to assume that everything is working perfectly. Success can sometimes create complacency, making people believe that they have figured everything out. But failure forces self-reflection. It compels individuals to analyze what went wrong, to question their assumptions, and to seek better approaches. It fosters creativity, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in history were born out of failure. But scientists, inventors, and entrepreneurs have all experienced countless failed attempts before arriving at their greatest achievements. They didn't let failure stop them, they used it as a guide. Fear of failure is often tied to a fear of judgment. Many people are more worried about what others will think if they fail than they are about the actual consequences of failing. This fear of embarrassment holds them back from taking risks, voicing their ideas, or stepping into new opportunities. However, the reality is that most people are too focused on their own lives to dwell on someone else's failures. Even when people do judge, their opinions have no power unless they are given permission to influence decisions. The most successful individuals understand that they cannot live their lives based on the fear of other people's opinions. They prioritize their own growth and aspirations over the fleeting judgments of others. Failure also separates those who are truly committed from those who are merely interested. Many people start something with enthusiasm but quit at the first sign of difficulty. They assume that if something is meant to be, it should come easily. However, true passion and dedication are tested in moments of failure. Those who are serious about their goals push through obstacles, whereas those who are only interested give up when things get tough. Failure exposes a person's level of commitment, forcing them to decide whether they are willing to fight for their dreams or whether they will let temporary setbacks define their path. People who embrace failure understand that success is not a straight line. It is a series of ups and downs, twists and turns, failures and recoveries. Every successful person has faced rejection, disappointment, and defeat at some point. What allows them to keep going is their perspective. They do not see failure as a sign to stop, but as a challenge to overcome. They reframe setbacks as opportunities to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. This mindset is what ultimately leads to long-term success. There is also great power in viewing failure as a necessary investment. Just as a person must put in money, time, and effort before seeing returns, they must also put in failed attempts before achieving success. Failure is the price paid for progress. The more willing a person is to fail, the more experience they gain and the closer they get to their goal. Those who avoid failure never truly invest in their potential. They stay on the sidelines watching others take risks while they remain stuck in fear. Failure provides clarity. Sometimes people pursue things that are not truly meant for them, and failure redirects them to better opportunities. It helps them discover what they are truly passionate about, what they excel at, and what aligns with their strengths. Many individuals who have achieved success in one field initially failed in another. Their failures led them to new paths, new insights, and new opportunities they may have never considered otherwise. Instead of seeing failure as a closed door, it should be seen as a guide leading to the right path. The most important shift a person can make is to stop viewing failure as an enemy and start seeing it as an ally. Failure is not something that should be feared, avoided, or hidden from. It should be embraced, learned from, and used as a tool for growth. Those who refuse to fear failure open themselves up to a world of possibilities. They take risks, explore new opportunities, and push past limitations. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a stepping stone towards success.